Hello and welcome to another very exciting Simple Talk segment with me, Minol Dee. And on the show today, I have a very special gentleman, and he is one and only Kapila Mohotti, the director of food and beverages of Hilton, Colombo, and also is to be a DJ as well. So we're going to be unwrapping his side of DJing and also his journey into becoming the director for Hilton Colombo brand. So we'll get into that slowly. Right, Mr. Kapila, welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Right, let's start from your DJing days. How did you get into DJing?
So, let's go back, 3 decades or more than 3 decades.
Okay.
It's been a long time. I joined actually Hilton. I was into hospitality. I started just after school actually in South.
In South?
Yeah, I am actually from Gaul.
Right.
And I studied at Richmond.
Okay.
And then, so while I used to go to school, I used to hang around in Gaul Fort most of the time.
Okay.
Unwatuna, Gaul Fort. So from small days, all what I saw was foreigners.
Yeah.
And then I was so passionate about this hospitality business. I always wanted to get into. So just after A level, I joined Unwatuna Beach Resort as a trainee cook. Well, that was what was available for me. So I joined as a trainee cook. Worked there for about 6 months. Then I thought, okay, I should, move away from there. And then I got into Triton Hotel, Hongalla.
Okay.
I went there and then worked there for another 1 year, and then came to Colombo. By the time I came to Colombo, I was 21, and then came and joined Galadari Meridian. It was one of the international brand at that time. Again, I actually couldn't go to kitchen after Unwatuna because there was no vacancies and all that. But I was so desperate to get into a proper hotel, so I joined Triton as a waiter, and then from there I came to Colombo and joined Galadari as a waiter. And then I happened to go to Colombo 2000. I don't know whether you have heard about that nightclub. At that time, I'm talking about 1986.
Okay.
Colombo 2000 was one of the clubs in Colombo. And then so that's how I got into this nightclub business.
Right.
So from there, while I was working as a waiter, I had a serious liking for music. I thought, oh wow, when the band is playing, everybody's looking at them, cheering up. And then at that time there was a DJ during the break. That was Bunty Noordi. I don't know whether you have heard about him.
Yes, of course.
Late Bunty Noordi. And that was his peak. So, and when he was DJing, it was like magic for me. That was the first time that I saw playing with records and mixing songs and everybody's dancing. So I thought, okay, this is what I want to do. So I got actually friendly with Bunty, and I used to help him to set up the place, clean the place, and all that stuff while I was working at Colombo 2000. And by that time, I saw Hilton is coming up.
Okay.
I thought, okay, I want to somehow get into Hilton. So I applied. While I was there, I applied, and I got it. Again, I got it as a waiter. That's a job that they offered me because that was I was been doing.
Yeah.
So I said, fine. International brand, first time in Sri Lanka. So then I got in, and at the interview, I remember late Athuru Senanayake, famous Rosa Senanayaka's husband. He asked me which outlet that I prefer to work. So I said, listen, I'm working for a nightclub and I prefer to work if you have a nightclub. Then he said, yes, we are going to have an international nightclub called Blue Elephant. I was so thrilled. I was so happy. And then I said, please, because I have a bit of experience in Colombo 2000. So he said, okay, here we go. So I joined in 1987, May 2nd to Hilton. And the hotel soft opening was in July 2nd. So then I was the pioneer team for Blue Elephant. And guess what? The DJ was Bunty Noordi, together with DJs from Juliana's, because Hilton has signed up with Juliana's. Juliana's is a recording company. They set up discos, they manage discos, and it's a massive company in England. So they basically managed the place for 6 months, and they are the people who set up the whole sound system and all that. So they recruited Bunty as a local DJ, and then there was a foreign DJ from Juliana's.
Right.
So So then the club opened, and then I'm still, working as a waiter, looking at what's happening, and then very friendly with Bunty, helping Bunty, so we are buddies now, right? So I said, Bunty, listen, you have to teach me. He said, calm down, just take your time, listen to music, write down what's going on. So I used to, while I was to work, I used to write down songs that he's playing,
Names, yeah.
all the songs. So I have so many playlists, these are all records, yeah, okay. And then I come in the evening, I clean the console, I serve coffee, and then I look after all of them, and I became a very popular guy among the DJs who were there. And I work hard, on the other side, in FMB. And then they put me to the bar, then I became a bartender, within a very short period of time. And then at some point, Juliana decided to go because it was 6-month contract. And then Banti was the only DJ who was basically playing. And we used to open 6 days a week. So at some point, it was very hard for Banti. But then Banti actually approached the management and said, listen, I need an assistant. I can't work alone 6 days a week, 9 to 4. So then management said, look for someone. And he said, no, there's a guy who is at the bar. He's keen to learn, and I'm happy to teach him. Can we? So that's how I got my opportunity to learn as a DJ. And by that time, I had loads of playlists with me. I knew exactly where the records are. By that time, I knew how to operate the console, the record players, kind of idea about, mixing and all that. Never did it, but I, used to watch. So then management said, okay, fine, you come early and spend about 2 hours if Bunty is willing to teach you. So then we had a plan, and then I used to come early. Then Bunty used to give me my first, second, third sessions, and I picked up very quickly. First he taught me how to, handle the equipment, and then, about the records, then about the BPMs, then about the music, and about the flow, the crowd, how to study the crowd, how to play, you know what I mean, all that. So I picked up because I was so keen, right? And then I picked up very, very fast, and then became a relief kind of a DJ, So Bunty used to play. He used to play like peak times, and whenever he wants to take a break, he calls me. So I used to wear my jacket, barman jacket, and inside I wear a nice shirt. So I remove my jacket and then quickly go and then relieve. You know what I mean? So that was really fun. And then the crowd, the regulars, the management got to know that I'm getting familiar, and then I got to know people, and they supported me, and then became very, very comfortable, both sides. The customers, the management, and Banti was very, very happy. And then eventually I became an official relief DJ kind of thing. And then management said, okay, listen, you decide, you can give up FMB and then get into, DJing. And then I said, no, I'm happy to go back and, do DJing, But of course, I helped, the management and, do all the events and, all those, team nights and stuff like that. But so that's how I got in.
To DJing.
Yeah, DJing. And then the relief DJ became a kind of the second DJ for the club. And then in 1989, Bunty had some, personal issues, and then he has to basically leave the club. So when he decides to leave, the management said, listen, Kapila, it's all yours.
And became the official resident
Yeah,
DJ.
and then became an official resident DJ after that. And then I started working alone, and then it became hard for me, you know what I mean, working right alone, and then I start, looking for another DJ. Then I found Ray Jayatunga, then I found Viran De Silva. Likewise, then later on, Harit came into the scene. I'm the one actually who taught him how to DJ, because he also came to do FMB. And then, like me, he wanted to, kind of learn. So then I actually showed him the, path. And then, likewise, we had many DJs after that.
Right.
So that was my start, basically.
Okay. So is that the point where you started KNH project, because you're known for it?
Yeah, I mean, see what happened. So Naushad, I actually forgot to tell you, Naushad came in as well, because Naushad also part of the Blue Elephant original team.
Okay.
Yeah. So So Naushad was also around,
Hmm.
and then he had bit of opportunity to play there as well. But then later on, he decides to go to my kind of place. But then we became buddies. So that was Kapila and N is Naushad,
Naushad.
and then later on Harit came in, and then H. So we thought like we should do something different, together. So we were just chatting one day, and then suddenly I said, why not, we just do a nice collaboration. We'll call it KNH. Then we were saying KNH, okay, KNH sounds all right, but then need something, to add. So they said, why not project? Let's do a project. So they became KNH project, and then we did a couple of shows. I took off very well, actually. Yeah. So
Let's talk
that's
about that very famous remix album.
okay. Yeah. So that's why I said, because when we decided to do KNH project, then you can't just only DJ. You need to do something different. So we actually wanted to come up with our original song at that time, but we didn't have the capacity or the facility. But later on, we did it. But then we thought, okay, why not we go into remixing? And that's how then we actually hired a studio. Then we recorded a couple of CDs. The first one was Years of DJing, right? And that became very, very popular. Of course, there was no copyrights at that time. I mean, there were copyrights, but it was not very strict in this part of the world. So we had the freedom to play around with music and all that, but it became very popular. And then likewise, we did a lot. Actually, now we have done over 100 remixes.
Yeah.
Over 100 remixes. I don't know many people knows, but if you go to YouTube, you can download all those mixes. Uh, various types of music, starting from 70s to 80s to house to trance to you know EDM, you name it. All sort of music mixes that we have done.
You also did a original Sinhala song, if I remember right.
We did an
The
English one.
first DJ outfit to do a Sinhala
Correct,
song, right?
correct. We did one. The English one was Dollar Boy.
Dollar Boy.
Yeah, I mean Dollar Boy song was written by me, and then it was my initiative, and I convinced the two guys to let's do this. And actually we spent quite a lot of money. We got a camera guy from India to
Okay.
do the video. And we spent quite a lot of money at that time. I remember, I think we spent about 1.6 million just for
At that
recording
time.
at that time.
Okay.
And it became, I mean, even now, it's running. It's still running.
Yeah,
Still running.
Because
So after we did that, then we realized, okay, why not we'll do a Sri Lankan song? So then we did another one. So that we did it actually initiated with Iraj. Iraj is the one who actually put the music together, and then we did the lyrics and all that thing, and it came up well. Yeah.
So back in the day, Kapila, I wanted to ask you, how was the industry, nightclub industry, or even the hospitality industry in Colombo? How was it back then when you started?
Well, I mean, in 80s, the proper disco started in 80s, I would say. I mean, in 70s, yes, we had nightclubs. I must remind Harpo, Jerry, Gabo, and those are the senior people who used to work in all those clubs.
Yeah.
And there were many other DJs as well. But then the second generation was us, basically.
Yeah.
It was myself and again Harpo in library, Naushad, Bunty, Wendell, and that whole lot. Um, so I must say, at that time, DJing is a huge thing. It's a massive thing. You know what I mean? Uh, okay, unless you are in a club, if you're a mobile DJ, I mean, you need a lorry to basically take your stuff, your sounds, your records, your boxes, and all the stuff, which nowadays is completely different, right? Sound is supplied by somebody else, and then you just take a thumb drive or your laptop and you just go and play. I mean, it's much more, how do I say, advanced, but at that time, I must say, the quality, the standards of the nightclub. I'm talking about after Blue Elephant, my kind of place, library, that those clubs I'm talking about. I mean, Blue Elephant, not because I work for Hilton, not because I was at Blue Elephant. To date, I have not seen, and anybody have not seen a club to that standard. It was same standard like London, New York, wherever you want to name it. Such a high standard, and it was done by a top company. And I remember, we used to have a touch system for the lightings. You can program the lighting.
Okay.
It was literally a touch system. You program all the lights, it works. It was a space shuttle which came down. It was turning, it was coming down, and then we always start with a light show. I mean, it's a different level of standards at that time. And even the club, the crowd was also different. It was very clean, I must say. uh, Fun, and of course people used to dress to come to clubs. And I remember, like, we were very strict with our dress code. I mean, people has to come in proper shoes and
Yeah.
trousers. No denim t-shirts were not allowed. So that's the level of standard that we used to maintain. And then people actually really, you know got adjusted to that. I'm not saying bad now, but now it's more relaxed. You can just go in a jeans and a t-shirt and party. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But those is you're not allowed to come. I mean, even the girls has to wear high heels. I mean, if you come in flats, you're not kind of welcome. So that's the level of standard. So when you walk in to the club, you see like everybody's like well dressed, beautiful people, a lot of alcohol, spending a lot of money, and then it's very clean. You know, uh, it's different.
How do you see this
It's
different now?
well now. Okay, number one is the club standards are still same, I would say. You know what I mean? Same in the sense nothing has changed. You don't find high-end clubs here. You find average clubs here, right? I mean, even look at what we are doing here is like very very basic stuff. So since after Blue Elephant and my kind of place, I don't think that there is a club which came to that level of exclusivity. I'm talking about the design to the lightings to the sound systems to all that. Of course there are clubs. I mean, there are many clubs. People are doing a great job. I must say, but the era is different, right? The style of partying is also slightly different now. um, and then if you look at uh, the cost is also it's crazy, right? I mean, it's a huge change compared to those days. So it's tough. It's challenging. It's tough. You can't demand too much. It's a very small market. It's not really growing. So everybody has to make money, right? So each one is basically doing their best to get the crowd, but you can't compare. It's very very different. Very very different. Uh,
But let me
those
put you on the spot. How do you see the difference in current DJs when you compare back in the 80s and 90s when you started? I mean, the technologies has improved, yes.
technology has improved a
The
lot.
music wise, their discipline, how do you see this difference?
Well, I think we have some great DJs here.
Yeah.
I think we have very good, talented DJs. I think Sri Lankans usually, when it comes to music, they have it in them.
Yeah.
They have it in them. I mean, everyone.
I think because we are an island nation, we have that
Probably. We are very happy kind
moving to
of
music.
people. Uh, when it comes to party, when it comes to have good times, when it comes to music, when it comes to spending, when it comes to,
Yeah.
I think we are amazing. We have a huge opportunity actually. It's just that unfortunately things are not going very well at the moment, right? I mean, for various reasons, right? So everyone is basically trying hard, to manage, and then it's tough time. But I have a feeling, the future is going to be very, very good. You know, Entertainment business has huge potential,
Yeah.
and I mean, for example, I mean, this was an Italian restaurant, right? We used to just do about 50, 60 covers, and then one day I decided actually, I want to just try out something. I got a band, I got a DJ. I put the DJ near the bar, purposely I did it because I didn't want to, just to create that, home kind of, feel and, like beach, very
Yeah.
relaxed kind of thing. And then we end up having 500 people,
Mm.
you know. That was during a tough time,
During COVID, right?
yeah, COVID,
Mm.
Easter bomb and the COVID,
Mm.
I mean, and then it's open, and then we were not strict with the dress code, we
Mm.
thought why not? I think then we opened for a different market
Mm.
basically, So that market, like you said, they love music, they love party, they want to have good time,
Mm.
but sometimes they can't afford to go to a five-star hotel. So that's the reason that we decided, okay, we're going to put the prices down. We're going to cater for this market,
Mm.
and then we won't not. I don't want. I'm not happy with 100 people. I want at least minimum 400, 500 people.
Mm.
So that is exactly what is happening right now here.
Yeah.
So that's what I say. There's huge opportunity. I mean, not only us. There are so many other places like us are doing well.
Yeah. Mm.
And on top of that, there are big shows.
Mm.
You know, and those shows also attract so many people.
Mm.
That's why I say this whole country
Mm.
is a party place
Big,
basically.
big potential, right, when
Yeah,
it comes to
party place.
entertainment.
So I mean the DJs.
Do you miss DJing by any chance?
Well, I do, but I played last week. I played previous week as well.
Mm.
I do private events. I don't go
Okay.
and play
Mm.
in clubs and all.
Can
And
anybody see you here DJing at the sunset
I haven't. I did actually
on the 31st night?
31st, every 31st I work
Yeah.
actually. I
Mm.
do. But sunset I did once, but that's a good point. And I must. No, I'm very much into music.
Mm.
I'm very much into music, and then I listen to music while I'm working.
Mm.
I have all my music in this. You give me a speaker, and then I can get them to dance here
Mm.
because I have my playlist. I have everything,
Mm.
catered for different, age groups. So I never went out of it.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah, and music is in me. I get high with music.
Mm.
I don't know how it has happened, but
Natural high.
I can get high,
Mm. Mm.
and I love to be alone. And when I'm alone, that's what I do. Listen to music.
Mm.
And then most of the time now, because this is amazing, right? You
Talk
have
about it.
everything in your hand, right?
At the tip of a button.
Yeah, you can just find whatever you want, right?
Mm.
If you know about music, if you don't know about music, then it's tough. But if you
Yeah.
know about music, it's very, very easy to find your music.
So you are still in touch with the new music as well?
I am very
Okay.
much. I'm very much.
So if
I'm
somebody
very-
thought that Kapila is not DJing anymore, well, no, he is DJing. He is still in touch.
I am actually. I am, but I am a bit selective.
Mm.
I don't do all the time, but I play. I play events,
Okay.
and private events mostly. Yeah, stuff like that.
On that note, let's talk about the brand Hilton. How has the Hilton brand helped you in your career? I mean, you spent about what 4 decades here in the
I
hotel.
am with Hilton for 38 years.
38 years. So
I keep saying it's 3 years and 8 months. I
that's
feel
how
like
it
that.
feels like.
I feel like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's funny, because I don't feel it as 38 years. 38 years is a long time. It's a very, very long time. But during that 38 years, I have done many roles actually. I started as a waiter, then became bartender, then became a disc jockey, then I became a restaurant manager. I managed the club. Then I became entertainment manager. Then I became assistant F&B manager because I always wanted to get into F&B because I was good at F&B. And I knew that you can't be DJing and partying right along your life because at some point that you need to calm down, right? So I did my homework. And Hilton, you can do a lot. You have so much of opportunities. There's Hilton University that I am actually, how do I say, a product of Hilton University.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I have traveled all over for work. They have sent me for training and task force and all that kind of stuff, which gave me a lot of experiences. And so, I mean, this is amazing hotel, and I recommend to anyone, if you are interested in hospitality, get into Hilton. The culture is completely different. If you're willing to work, you have the freedom to work, you have freedom to try out things. Management is amazing. And every time I walk into the hotel, I feel like, oh my God,
You're home away from home.
home away from. I'm so happy when I walk into the hotel every single day. I'm not exaggerating. I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Every time, not that I don't like home, but if I can stay at home for 2 days, but after that, I get
Yeah.
bored. I have to come because
Mhm.
I'm so used to this place. And
I'm pretty sure along these 30 years, 38 years now, you would have had many opportunities coming your way from other brands, other hotels. I'm not going to ask why you didn't leave. Can you tell us what is so special about Hilton? How has Hilton treated you that you don't want to leave?
yeah, so that's what I said. Uh, if to date, I have not had any issues or any complaints from the management or any reason for me to even think of going out.
Mm.
This is like my home. This is like my business. I keep telling all these new people, I keep telling even the present GM, I think I have more rights than anybody else because I have been here so much and I have done so much, and then I have learned so much as well, and I'm still contributing, right? And I still have energy to do that. And more than that, there's so much opportunity for you to learn.
Mm.
We have 8,000 plus hotels. The amount of best practices, amount of uh, things that our hotels does. We have 23, 24 brands actually under it. Uh, there's so much. There's so much,
Mm.
and it's freely available. So I think the most important thing is the freedom and the support that they give makes you stay
Mm.
and makes you do things. Uh, I mean, I have no words to say.
Yeah.
This is amazing place.
Yeah.
This Hilton is not only Hilton Colombo. I have been to so many Hiltons. I've even worked in many Hiltons on short terms. The culture is very, very different.
Mm.
Very, very, very different. Management keep changing, but you know, the working culture is
It's still the
really,
same.
really amazing. Yeah.
We're in conversation with the director of food and beverages of Hilton Colombo, Mr. Kapila Mohotti. And we're coming to you live from the Sunset Blue as well. Don't forget to check them out, and I'll put all the links in the description so that you can check it out. And I think on Friday and Saturdays, DJ Naushad, because a lot of people have been asking me, where can I see this guy playing? Because some of my friends who have come down, they have thought that Naushad has stopped DJ because there's
No,
no Blue Elephant anymore.
Naushad is actually how do I say? I must actually talk a bit about him. Naushad is a very passionate DJ,
Mm, mm.
very, very passionate DJ. I think he's one of the most experienced DJs in Sri Lanka at the moment. You
Yeah.
know, and the energy and the passion that he has for music is unbelievable.
Mm,
Unbelievable. I know it because I know him for last 38 years.
yeah.
Both of us actually walked in together to this hotel.
Mm.
Yeah, we both wore same uniform, and we have some amazing history. And honestly, he's an amazing, talented person.
Mm.
And yeah, I never allow him to go anywhere because I always wanted to keep him with me, not because of anything else, because I know his talent,
Mm.
and he can play for uh, the older crowd, and he
Yeah.
can play for younger crowd. He can play for whatever the crowd that he can. He's so
Very true.
capable of
Yeah.
doing that.
He's one remarkable fact about him is like he caters to all ages.
Correct.
I've seen that
Correct.
myself.
Correct.
So let's talk a bit about Hiranya as well. Otherwise, it might feel a little unfair. He's the other DJ who plays here.
Correct. Hiranya is a very talented young guy.
Mm.
I met him actually five, 6 years ago, and then the moment I met him, I realized that he has a amazing future. Very, very skillful DJ, highly passionate, very good knowledge about sounds. He has his own sound systems
Yeah.
and all that, and we used to work together for a long time. I always wanted him to work for us, right? So And then the day that I decided to do Sunset Blue concept, so we did it together. I mean, he was around, and I said, Hiranya, let's do this. And he's a very creative guy as well, and then he helped me a lot to promote this place. He's quite good at doing reels and
Yeah,
also
yeah.
social media stuff, and young, good-looking fellow, right? All the ladies follow him, and then and that also
Let's not take
important, right?
anything away from Naushad too.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
Let's talk a bit about the current DJs. Any words of wisdom or any advice that you can give to a young DJ who wants to come into the trade? I mean, you are a person who have become a DJ and you have grown up the ladder. You become a very successful corporate leader in a very special brand here in Hilton, Colombo. So how can one, groom themselves, especially a DJ? How can they groom themselves to become somebody who's a known personality?
Good point. See, as I told you, there are so many DJs, so many talented
Yeah,
DJs, but not many have made their name.
yeah,
Uh, so what you need to do actually, uh, you need to you need to create your own personality, and then make your own name in DJ, the business, I would say, uh, by going into, I mean, see, some DJs have no access to clubs, you know what I
yeah,
mean, but they do private events and private gigs and
yeah.
stuff like that. You can still do that. I mean, if I'll give you a good example, person like Bonnie. Bonnie was a not a club DJ
Mm,
actually.
mm.
Later on he went into club, but he was a
Mobile DJ.
mobile
Mm,
DJ.
mm,
Even DJ Viran, if you
mm,
look at, he was a mobile DJ. He was so popular in early 90s and late
mm,
80s. You know, uh, he never played in the club. The day that I decided to recruit him, and only he moved into the club. But before that, he was so popular. You mention his name, everybody knows. So how does that happen? See, uh, when it comes to DJing, what you need to understand, you should never stick to one type of music style. You know what I mean? I know the trends keeps changing. You know what
mm,
I mean? Uh, you should be able to, in a country like this, especially. We are not in Europe, or we are not in USA or whatever. The country like here, you should be able to cater for uh, every ages,
mm,
and you should not restrict yourself. If you restrict yourself, then you may are making limitations. You know what I'm trying to say? And then your name will not only come whenever that there is requirement for
yeah,
that kind
true.
of thing. You know what I'm trying to say?
Mm, mm.
So so
Basically, being versatile DJ.
correct.
Mm,
And then also you need to understand where the money is.
yeah.
Now see, if I convert this into a one type of you know music, let's say EDM,
Mm.
or
Underground stuff.
underground,
Yeah.
or whatever, which is popular all over the world. You know what I
Mm,
mean?
mm,
It's massive. But unfortunately, when you're doing a business like this, we have to make money. The hotel has to make money. The club has to make money. So I will, when it comes to recruiting DJs, I will always look at all those criteria.
mm,
If you're a DJ, I'm thinking, okay, what is his profile? It doesn't matter whether you're popular or not, but if you are in that level,
mm,
you know, that level of skill where you can play for, you play commercial, you
mm,
play house, you play R&B, hip hop, you play for the crowd, you understand the crowd, you know how to keep the crowd
mm,
going. That is exactly what people are looking for.
mm.
It can be a house party,
Yeah.
it can be a club,
Mm,
it can be an event.
mm.
You still want people to have a good time,
And keep them coming back to
and
the club
then
as well.
also to make money. Now
Yeah.
see, if I'm recruiting a DJ,
Mm,
I want him to play for the crowd, not for him.
not-
You know what I mean? Because I have to make money, and I have to make money for the owners, to the hotel. So I need to make sure that I recruit the right person who has that right mindset.
mm,
That is where the problem. There's a serious challenge for me to find that. type of DJs.
Mm.
It doesn't matter whether you have a name or not. But if you are in that profile, people will come and pick you. You get my point?
Mm.
People will come and pick you because we go around, we go to parties, we go to house parties.
Mm.
And whenever I see a good DJ who is like, playing, music for everyone and, managing the crowd well, right, and making them happy, he's the guy who basically makes the, you know. So what you need to do is you need to get into a place. It can be a party. Okay, you do so many parties every weekend, and then okay, people come and then people talk about, oh, we went to this party,
Mm.
so and so was DJing and he's amazing. People enjoyed, people were happy, and then they keep recommending and recommending, right?
Mm.
And they your name, so always it comes up, right?
Yeah.
And then they say, oh wow, I need to catch this guy. This guy has the talent of, catering for everyone, basically. So that's what you need to do in here.
Mm.
But if you go Europe, I understand. If you go to some other country, it's different.
Mm.
Progressive is massive. We
Massive.
all know that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But unfortunately, progressive music in Sri Lanka, it's popular. I mean, if you go beyond
Yeah.
Panadura, it's progressive.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
Mm. Mm.
and
Especially when you consider the number of events that are happening outside.
yeah, it's purely progressive.
Yeah.
But if you want to make money and if you want to make a name in this, we are still small,
Atmosphere.
right? Yeah, atmosphere. That you need to be a person with, a very open mind and then,
And be open format DJ.
Correct.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So if any DJs out there who's listening, well, there might be an opportunity for you.
No, of course, yes, of course.
Right.
I mean, we have supported a lot of bands, I mean,
Yeah,
I do,
yeah.
I allow people to come and do audition and then, you know what I mean, and then, make their name. So likewise, we are kind of open, but we are looking for the right personality, you know what I mean? I mean, personality is also important, right?
Exactly.
You know, how you,
After
person
all, you
to
are working
yourself,
under
person to
Hilton
yourself,
Colombo.
yeah.
Yeah.
Even grooming and all that matters, all that really matters.
So what does the Sunset Blue hold for future? What can the people expect in the future?
Okay. Well, I told you, right? This was Italian restaurant. We
Il
overnight,
Ponte, right?
yeah, Il Ponte.
Il Ponte.
We convert overnight. I mean, suddenly I decided, okay, if you look at all these little decorations that I have put, these are all done in Sri Lanka. I went to Evaldini and got all these, little lanterns and did all those lighting in-house with in-house engineering guys, and it looks, but people are happy. You know what I mean? We haven't spent much money here. Well, what we are trying to do, actually, we're trying to expand a bit because, as you can see, we have some temporary marquees there. So we want to get rid of all these temporary marquees. We want to do a extended, version of, like a permanent kind of a hut, overlooking water. So basically, we are planning to improve.
Okay.
But we are not going to change the concept.
Right.
We want that market. You know what I mean? I'm looking at 80%, the people who really can't afford to go to a like 5-star hotel. You know what I mean? 5-6 people get together, they buy a bottle, they have a good time, beautiful people, and have a nice, experience, and then go back. So that's the kind of market that I want to actually cater for. And the location that we have is actually very, very unique. We have waterfront and then overlooking the beautiful backdrop, and then the hotel is behind. So very minimum disturbance for neighbors.
Yeah.
So we are going to continue. We have a kind of idea of bringing down some foreign DJs. Again, if a foreign DJ comes, it will be very carefully selected. That's where the problem is. It's very difficult to look at a profile and then select a DJ. You need to physically see it. And then also we are looking at foreign bands. It all depends on the situation because right now, business levels are like, not great, not only here, everywhere. So even people are finding it difficult. So we will continue, what we want to do is we want to keep the place clean. We want to have good people, without any incidents and stuff like that.
And let them have clean fun.
Clean fun, exactly. Yeah, we will keep this place clean for anyone to come, and parents also, because the kids, right?
Yeah.
we want them to be comfortable. You know what I mean?
uh,
I can allow my son or the daughter to go to
yeah,
Hilton, and safety, the
yeah.
security. We are very much concerned because we are Hilton. That's our top priority, basically.
Sure. So,
Yeah.
what does the future hold for the Kapila Mohotti?
Well, I mean, well, I mean, we are not. I mean, yeah, I'm not young,
Mm.
but we are still living in 40s, right?
Yeah.
We are kind of stuck in
As you
40s.
said, you just feel like what 3 months, 3 years,
3 year, 8 months.
3 years and
That's
eight
what I was
months.
saying.
Yeah. So
I never say 30. Are you 38 years? Did you go to school? Yeah, people are.
on that note, I should mention now I did an interview with Mr. Pabilis. I think he has spent 65 or I think more than 60, close to 70 years at the Mount Lavinia
Yeah,
Hotel.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. I
he
mean, he's
told
a
me
legend.
he's a
He's a
legend,
legend.
and
He
you are
has
getting there,
amazing story.
and you are getting there 40 years. Anyway,
Well, I
so
mean, yeah. So that's what I say. I mean, you don't feel it. I don't
okay.
feel it at all.
Oh,
And I tell everyone, his age is a number. I mean, just forget it.
hmm.
Don't even think about it. You know, best thing to do is stuck in 40s. Stuck in 40s. It's so beautiful. I mean, amazing.
Hmm. After all, it will never come again, no? 40s.
Yeah. That's why I prefer to be in 40s.
Right. We're gonna take a wrap, and that was Mr. Kapila Mohotti, the director for F&B at the Hilton Colombo, and also used to be a DJ as well. And in the conversation, he mentioned that he has not given up DJing, so you might see him on and off on the decks, maybe at Sunset Blue, or maybe at Blue Elephant,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Oh, let's talk about
yeah,
that
yeah.
before we wrap it up. We have to talk
That's a
about the
good one.
BL
Yeah,
joints.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, see, every year we have been doing um, uh, uh, like club night. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Because we closed the club in 2004, and then after that, every year we have been like doing few gigs.
Yeah.
We select a weekend and then bring invite
Hmm.
all the whole crowd,
Hmm.
and then with all the DJs who used to play. So even last year we did it in September. So this year again September. We're going to be 38 years. So we will do a weekend and then we will let you know the dates. And then, yes, of course, I'll be
Won't it
DJing as well.
be opened regularly like it used to be?
Yeah. Well, see, I always want to open the club before I leave this hotel.
Hmm.
I keep telling management, but they are also keen. It's just that we are waiting for the right time. We still have the location, uh, and it's the best location. And then I am trying my best to open the club before I leave. That's
That's
my
something to
idea.
look forward to. So with that hope, we're gonna wrap it up. And thank you so much for being on the show. It was a pleasure, and we'll waiting
Thank
for
you.
this for a long time. So finally we caught up and did it go well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having
Nice
me.
meeting you.
Thank you.